Very meditative.
Wow.
I love it. I love it.
I thought you were going to say something absolutely opposite.
Yeah?
That brings me to my next curiosity is...
In different pieces, it just shows up when you least expect it, and it surprises you.
These are all very superficial questions, but not superficial, but important.
They're questions.
Because people want to know...
qualify them.
Yeah. Stop it, Hiten. Well, age, I don't know, because you seem to look younger and younger every time I see you.
Good.
And your dancing grows.
You know what to say, Hiten. You know the right things to say.
No. This is me being absolutely... I don't have to put it on. But... So, earlier in the year, I had the good fortune of interviewing the enchanting and the most amazingly beautiful Vidhya Subramanian. Now, Vidhya performed a tribute, a homage to her Abhinaya teacher, Kalanidhi Narayanan. And after the show, I interviewed her in the premises where she was staying in Arta in Paris. I got to know the more personal side of her thoughts, her views, her perspectives. And what was nice is that to look beyond the persona that we see on stage. Now, Vidhya has been a trailblazing dancer for the past few years, and more recently she has obviously taken it up seriously. So the next footage is that of my interview with Vidhya way back in April or March this year. I hope you enjoy it. It's rather long. It's a long interview, but I've tried to edit it as much as I can and get the best parts of what she said. So I hope you enjoy it, and do like, comment and subscribe.
It depends on the place for me. I think some places you get time to prep yourself to get into it, some places you don't. Chennai you don't mostly. You just sort of... The days when I am, like today I was in workshop all day. It's a different experience. I mean, once when I was in New York and I was performing that evening, I had just that one day to see New York, and so I had a student of mine take me all over. We went to the museum, we walked everywhere. Obviously in New York you have to walk. We just walked everywhere. I came back and I had 2 hours, got ready, and it was one of my best performances. That itself for me the getting ready process is the most beautiful part. For me, it's the most meditative. I enjoy it. Those 2 hours I spend completely going inward and sort of, it's the time that, you know, I mean, you're looking at yourself, literally looking at yourself in the mirror, but it's sort of the time when I take to go within, to get to a place where I am centered and, you know, with myself completely. So
what do you do in that process? Who do you believe in?
It's not that I do anything. That's the point. That's the beauty of it. It's the process that does it for me. So from the moment that I start doing everything, I don't talk much. I don't communicate much during those 2 hours. Before that, I can be as communicative, chatty, whatever as possible. I mean, I workshop, like I said today. Obviously, I have to talk. But the last 2 hours, when I'm with myself, I barely talk. And sometimes I listen to my music, sometimes I don't, it depends. And it's just me and myself. So it's the process of, you know, doing your hair and your face, and it's such a beautiful process for me. It's slowly, that process itself, I think, takes you through this meditative journey inward. For me, it's not that I do anything, you know, it's designed that way. Yoga I do, I get on the elliptical every day, and usually it's elliptical dance and evening is yoga class. So that's usually, I mean, on most days. There are days when I get lazy and it's not, yeah, I'll be honest, I mean, it's not like that, you know, I'm not going to say every day I do this and, you know, this is my, no. But, you know, we have to, I mean, be honest with ourselves as well. And so that's what I do. That's, if you want to know specifically what I do to stay in shape, those are the 3 things that I do physically. When I left for the US, I was barely 22. When I left India, I was 21 and a half actually when I was married. And at that time I had married later when I was 16, and then I was performing, 3 times a month, and traveling all over the place, and I'd already done 2 or 3 international tours, and it was one of those things that from my Arangetram it just started taking off, and then it all stopped, right? Because at that time America was not what it is today, in the sense that we didn't even have email. There was, so you had to write a letter if you wanted the meaning of a song, or you had to do a trunk call, and we didn't travel as often to India as we do now, right? I mean, dancers now have the luxury of going back and forth several times. We didn't have that luxury, none of that thing. So I was sort of devastated when I landed in the US, and in my mind we were going to go back in 3 years to India, and that was sort of the understanding I had. So I went about organizing a tour of the US because I said I have to do something or I'm going to go crazy. So within 1 year of getting to the US, I did a 22-city tour. So with Vidhya, my guru Bharata Natyam Dancer I had come, and we did a tour. I did a full tour, and of course the last few programs were cancelled because I got chickenpox, of all things. But anyway, that got over. Then I did another tour in '94. But in the meantime, I started teaching. So it sort of cascaded, because at that time there weren't as many opportunities to perform even in the US, anywhere. I mean, and going back was difficult. So teaching was the next best thing to performing. So I started teaching, and I think somewhere along the way, so life. I mean, I felt like this boat that was just carried along by the tide. A lot of it was not conscious decisions made by me, so it's kind of you're just traveling along. And then I was performing, but not anywhere as actively as I had been before, right? So, and then before I knew it, my girls were in high school. I mean, like close to high school at that point. Then I think that sort of the realization hit me that I am a dancer, and I am performing, but I enjoy performing, and I am not someone who wants to just dance in the garage. I enjoy performing. I enjoy that interaction and communication with the audience. So, what am I doing is the question, right? So, I had a talk with my husband, and he said, well, if you want to dance, then dance. I mean, it's as simple as that, right? Because the conviction was there. The first step is that decision that, hey, I want to do this, whatever it takes, right? So it's not, the wake up suddenly happened. And it sort of coincided with the last Arangetram, and then my younger one left for college. My older one was already in college by then. Younger one left for college, and that was it. Since then, I've been spending half a year in India and half a year here, and half a year in the US. Yeah, my first marriage didn't work out, so it happens. The marriage itself might have had a part to play in my
not performing as
much, for sure. But it didn't. No, the resurgence happened much later, because we were. My husband and I are a blended family. We are. we came into the marriage with one child each. And
Oh,
so
wonderful.
we're a blended family. So we're a blended family, and so obviously took a lot of energy to make that work as well. We were introduced by friends, but we met in the US. We dated, and something I'd never done in India, right?
That's fantastic.
Growing up.
Nobody would ever even imagine.
Right?
You know, that's fantastic.
The first marriage that I had, I think more than anything, built a tremendous courage in me, because I was a very protected child growing up. So pretty much knew nothing, and then you obviously culture shock.
Whenever I hear other Bharata Natyam dancers' experiences and life journeys, somehow it inspires me, it motivates me. Call me nosy, call me a person who wants to know a lot about different things, but I think it's important. We all should learn from each other, we all should listen to each other's stories, and from a fascinating artist like Vidhya, you can only be inspired. She's beautiful, she's charming, not only that, has amazing depth and great character, and a great sense of love for those around her that I observed on that day. I promise to make many such videos. I have lots of content coming up. I was in India recently this past year, so there's a lot of things happening. So come back and enjoy. Thank you.